Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be doing ignition timing on my 1978 Cadillac Eldorado. I first picked this car up about a year ago. I picked it up at the end of summer, did a little bit of work to it. Not good work, naturally, it's me. And then it's been sitting since winter started. I don't know, maybe October, November timeframe. Brief rundown on this car. It was owned previously by an older man who was a hoarder of vehicles. I picked this up, and there was Model A's and Model T's and old Ford pickups and you name it all around the property. Naturally, I decided on the biggest, ugliest one. It's just how I roll. But yeah, this car had been sitting since roughly 1999 was the estimate. The guy bought it brand new in 78 and only put 12,000 miles on it. Obviously, it didn't look like this when I picked it up. I can maybe link some photos in the video as to what it did when I picked it up. It was disgusting. I mean, it had been sitting in a barn for 30 years, never ran anything. Last year when I picked this up, I got it running. I didn't verify timing. All of the vacuum lines were gone. It hadn't run in 30 years. I just briefly ran it with one of my buddies, actually in this exact spot where it's sitting. And with the 50-year-old Quadrajet and no vacuum lines and all that, it ran immediately. And I didn't even pull the lines to the tank. I mean, I was young and dumb, still am, just moderately less dumb. So yeah, this thing ran on, I mean, at least 30-year-old gas with a 50-year-old carb, no vacuum lines, no nothing. For those that don't know, Cadillac was obnoxious in the 50s to the 80s, 90s, whatever you name it. Their main goal was to make the biggest motor possible for commercial cars that made the least amount of power possible. This has a 425 cubic inch V8, 7 liters. It's front wheel drive. Don't know why they decided on that, but it is. So yeah, 7-liter V8 front wheel drive, and it made like 160 horsepower. It's probably about 140 now, if I had to guess. But all things considered, it's a pretty clean rig. I'll give a walk around. Yeah, whenever this thing gets moving, I don't expect it to be moving very fast. So we'll get into a little walk around, and then we can start timing. Brief rundown of the car. I don't know the exact measurements on this thing, but I believe it is like 215-ish inches long. I mean, it's like the size of a full-size pickup, and it's about 6 feet wide. I mean, I'll give a little front and back view here in a second, but this thing takes up the whole lane and then some. Feels more like driving a pirate ship than it does driving a car. And if you can see this hood, I mean, this thing's longer than a breakup text, and I ain't kidding you. This thing, lifting it almost seems comical, and I'll probably add a video of that. These wheels I put on, the original wheels were really rusted, and so I had to go find some aftermarket ones. The 5x5 lug pattern is hard to find, fellas, and I found like a plus 20 offset or something like that, which is good enough with the air all the way up. But when you go through a turn, you can see the damage that I put these tires through. Man, was I an idiot. It turns out that the factory wheels for this thing are plus 88 offset. They call it the backwards wheel. I mean, they're impossible to find. But all things considered, I mean, for a 50-year-old car that's sat in a barn for 30 years, this thing wants to go, fellas. And I'll give a little side view real quick, and I'll show off the interior. You can see, first of all, the damage to the topper. Of course, right after I purchased this thing, I towed it here, and then within a month, we had the only hailstorm that's happened as long as I've been here. So it damaged this topper, and then you can see, sadly, I'll a lot of water has gotten under this window trim and started to rot out these corners. So eventually it will need some sort of rooftop body work. But all things considered, the frame is clean. It's got some surface rust, obviously. All the trim pieces are here. There's a little bit of rotting on the doors and stuff. But the interior, I mean, with exception of not being cleaned and a couple rips from just sun beating damage over time, I mean, the dash doesn't have a spot on it. All the buttons are all in good shape. Obviously, there's only a couple ways you can even tell if these things have rolled over, but I believe it to be a 12,000 mile vehicle. The seat looks like it has never been sat in ever, and the pedals look like they've never been touched. You can see it's dirty from my foot from when I was last working on it, but I mean, this thing is a clean example and it wants to be back on the road. So let's get into it. Sadly, I lost some of my footage from when I was doing this, but and by lost footage, I mean didn't record because I was lazy. Um, for those of you that don't know, these old Cadillacs don't have crank bolts, or at least most of them didn't. So at first, I tried spinning the motor over using the belt, which, worked about as well as you thought it would. And then picked up one of these Lone Wolf 3000 triggers, as Vice Grip Garage guy would say. Anyways, so I found top dead center. We should be sitting at it right now. I got the distributor in. It's actually the factory distributor, surprisingly. At least I believe so. And I got a new cap, and I got it lined up. The I'm gonna have to kind of test around with the firing order. One would think that this firing order on the back of the motor would be the correct one, which I believe it to be. But according to online sources, Cadillac used to stamp things with just numbers, and they would say firing order, yada, 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 and it wouldn't actually be correct to the car. But I'm going to trust what's stamped on the block before I trust the Google-O-Matic, which is saying something different. And we could try both. But I'm hoping this works. Yesterday, which I didn't film, of course. I'm sorry if y'all can hear the mowers, by the way. There's a bunch of mowers just driving around. I fixed all of the vacuum issues. I was having trouble finding diagrams online, and I purchased a maintenance manual. And wouldn't a fella find out, the most mint thing on the car is the damn vacuum sticker right up front. So, wasted about 20 bucks, but we'll get over it. All right, everybody. Timing's hooked up. A little bit of a hiccup in the plans because I didn't know which cylinder was which. So, I found TDC on cylinder 2 at first. So, I had to flip that around. I'm going off the firing order on the block, probably, right? I started it like this, though, just to give a brief warning before I get it revved up. When I bought this, there was mice living in the exhaust and had rotted it all out. So when I first started it, it tried to catch fire. So now it's got no exhaust. So you're about to hear big block open at the headers, assuming it runs at all. So I guess it's not exactly open at the headers. It's got the headers, and it's pretty much cut off there. I cut it off before the catalytic converter. So I'm sure there's about 72 people in this neighborhood who are about to be pissed. But anyways, let's get this key turned and see what she does. All right, key's on. Starter remote should still be hooked up. I don't have a gas jug with me, so we're just gonna hope it does it like this. Oh, come on. starter remote is no longer hooked up right, and I cannot sit in the driver's seat because all my tools are there. So we're just going to crank through the door, see what she does. Well, that sounds real good. I can't tell if not all of my cylinders are firing or if my timing's too advanced, retard, whatever. Give it another go. Well, it's trying, given it has been sitting for quite a while. Let's see. Well, something is hissing out of the top, but she's trying. Let's give one more crank, see what she's saying to us. Personally, to me, it's sounding like a timing issue. Of course, it's a timing issue. I'm the one that did it. So I'm going to refine top dead center and redo all this again. When I had the distributor fully advanced, like where it was locked out, wouldn't advance anymore, it was running, but it was pinging. I could hear it pinging. And then if I backed it off, I mean, even at all, it would just die. So it could be a carb related issue, but it's a new carb, and I've got the air fuel set up in like a medium range, so it should be getting enough fuel at idle. So I'll reset timing real quick, re-verify everything, and then we can run it again. Assuming that it starts. This is the first start. As expected. All right. This is the homemade hillbilly exhaust done. Yep. Is it going to be quieter? I have my doubts. Does it look good? No. Is it going to hold? Probably not. Which, I think it's perfect. So, I'm about to fire it up and make even more noise and piss off the few neighbors that are left not hating me. All right, battery is mostly charged. Take two.